Some are pebbly. Pebbly means pebbles. So many small stones we call pebbles. Okay. And some are dotted with small bushes, while others are sprinkled with colorful flowers during spring. So if you see some places when it little rains, that time there will be beautiful flowers. It will look like a big estate of lovely flowers, small flowers. So it's lovely sight to see during spring. All right. Next paragraph. There are more than 2,300 different kinds of snakes around the world. You know how many kinds of snakes are there in the world? About 2,300 kinds of snakes, ranging from just 15 centimeters long to more than 11 meters. You know, there are small snakes which actually only they are 15 centimeters long, very small, and up to 11 meters. That long snakes are there. Most snakes are quite harmless, but there are a few that are so poisonous that they can kill a human being with just one bite. You know, there are different kinds of snakes. There are small snakes, and there are very long snakes, and there are non-poisonous snakes. Many snakes are not poisonous, but there are some deadly poisonous snakes. With one bite, a human being can die. So most snakes lay eggs, but there are many which give birth to their young. So many snakes lay eggs, but there are so many snakes which actually give birth to the young ones. Alright? They give birth to the small snake babies. Okay. In the dry, rocky deserts of America lives a rather evil looking snake with a very bad reputation. So in America, there is one snake called rattlesnake, and it looks very evil. You see in the picture how bad it looks. So it looks only evil. And its frightening rattle can be heard as far as 30 meters away, and it can strike with lightning speed. So now it rattles. Rattles means kind of when it shakes, we can hear some sound. And when so this sound we call rattling, and we can hear it even 30 meters away. Up to 30 meters far it can be heard. But the rattlesnake, or rattler as it is sometimes called, prefers to avoid people if it possibly can. So this particular snake, rattlesnake, it avoids people as far as it can. It holds its tail upright and rattles the end whenever it is disturbed. So it will make its tail upright and it will shake it whenever it is disturbed. And this is called rattling. Okay. So in the hope that the intruder will go away, this snake does not like to be disturbed. So he wants someone who is coming near it should go away. So that is why it rattles. Okay. And then, however, if it's threatened, it will coil ready to bite. So if someone comes to disturb this, what the rattlesnake will do? It will be ready. It will coil itself and it will make ready itself to bite. Okay. So, but the rattler itself cannot hear the noise its own tail makes. You know, rattling sound is made by the tail when it shakes. Alright, it will make the tail upright and it will shake. That time we can hear the sound, and that sound is called rattling, and that is why the name rattler. Alright, so what happens is these snakes are deaf. They can't hear like us. They are deaf. So what they can feel the vibrations. If somebody moves nearby, they can feel it by the vibrations in the air. Okay? So like most snakes, it hears things through vibrations in the ground. Okay? In a person walks nearby the snake, they can feel the movement by vibrations. But if the same person were to shout, it would not hear a thing. So if a person passes by, the snake can feel it that somebody is passing by. But if that person shouts, it can't hear. The snake can't hear at all. So rattlesnakes are very common and widespread animals. So these rattlesnakes are very common species and they are seen everywhere, many places. Rattlesnakes are very common and widespread animals living right across the American continent from Canada to Argentina. So all over America these rattlesnakes are found. From Canada to Argentina they are found all over America. They feed on a variety of prey including mice, voles, rats, chipmunks, and many other animals, small animals. Now, this rattlesnake eats a lot of animals, small animals. Which animals do they eat? They include mice. Mice means rats. Voles. You know what are voles? They are small plant eating rodents just like rabbits. Small plant eating rodents just like rabbits. Okay. And they also eat chipmunks. You know what are chipmunks? Chipmunks are small ground squirrels having light and dark stripes. They are just like squirrels. You know, they are called chipmunks. And this is the prey of these rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes kill their prey with venom. They have venom. You know what is venom? Venom means, in Malayalam you say visham. So they have venom in their body, and with that they will bite and kill the animals. Okay? Like all snakes, they swallow the unfortunate animals whole. You know, they don't bite. What they'll do, they swallow the animal, the full whole animal they swallow. Few snakes have to eat more than once a week. You know, sometimes once a week if they eat, it's sufficient for them. Sometimes they'll eat more than once a week. Alright? And some, such as the larger pythons, can survive for a year or more without eating. You know, there are some large, long snakes called pythons, big fat snakes. They can even live without food for even a year. Wonderful, right? Okay, shall we continue? Mongooses like to hunt together. You know, mongooses are family creatures. They live in groups. They never live alone. Okay? And they always protect each other. They protect their babies at home. Somebody will sit guard there, and some mongooses will go in groups. They attack in groups. They are always going in groups. They like to be united. Okay? They know the unity is strength. Alright? Mongooses like to hunt together, but they always keep a lookout for dangerous predators nearby. So they like to hunt together. They go together, and if any predators come to kill them, they'll be very alert. So they'll be very conscious, poking their noses into holes, overturning rocks with their paws, and scratching the ground with their sharp claws. Banded mongooses are very amusing animals to watch. So, to catch their prey, to find their food, what all they will do? They'll scratch the ground and see if any food is available. They will lift the rocks, and they will also poke their noses into holes in burrows. Very interesting to watch these groups of mongooses going to find the food in groups. A common sight in many parts of Africa. They travel in groups about 20 to forage for beetles, millipedes, and other small creatures. So in Africa, in African desert, if you watch, you can see the groups of about 20 mongooses going together in search of beetles, millipedes, small red millipedes, and other small creatures for their food. Okay, you know what is forage? Forage means to go in search of food. Okay, they like to hunt together, keeping in touch whenever they go out of sight behind rocks or bushes by twittering and calling. They like to hunt together, keeping in touch whenever they go out of sight. So if they always want to be together, if they are gone out of sight, they'll make some sounds, to find out where is the other mongoose. So they will hear the sounds and come and join together once again if they are split from their company of groups. Okay, so whenever they like to hunt together, keeping in touch whenever they go out of sight behind the rocks or bushes by twittering and calling. Always the one always on the lookout for danger. They'll be always looking whether they are going to undergo any danger. Hawks, eagles, and large snakes they are afraid of. So hawks, eagles, large snakes, okay, and they warn one another with some special alarm call if they spot anything suspicious. So they will inform the other mongooses with some special call. So they have some language of their own to inform other mongooses of the danger. So they will be informing all other mongooses if they are suspicious of any incoming danger. Okay. All right. So mongooses are very interesting animals. Now next paragraph. Mongooses are famous for being able to kill snakes without getting hurt themselves. They have one particular ability to kill snakes. That's wonderful. So many mongooses are trained actually to kill snakes. Okay, so they will be fighting with the snakes and somehow they will escape their bite. So they are very special creatures. They can fight with the snakes and somehow they will escape the snake bite. And finally the snake will get so tired and it will give up fighting. That time mongoose will go and eat it up. How funny, isn't it? Wonderful, right? So mongooses are famous for being able to kill snakes without getting hurt themselves. So their reactions are so fast that they can dodge each time. Dodge means move quickly to avoid its enemy. What is dodge? To move quickly to avoid its enemy. So it will show its very fast movement it will have so that enemy cannot kill it. Their reactions are so fast that they can dodge each time the snake strikes. Okay, they continually make a nuisance of themselves until after a while when snake gets tired they quickly dive in for the kill. So they will keep on fighting with the snake and finally snake will feel so tired and snake will give up, stop fighting and fall tired. That time mongoose will go and kill the snake. Okay, next paragraph 7. All the female mongooses have their kitten at about the same time. That's a wonder. So all these female mongooses they will give birth to the young babies. So their babies are called kittens. So we call the babies of cats kittens, and the babies of mongooses are also called kittens. Okay. So they give birth to their kittens at the same time. So they are raised by the whole group in a den made inside an old termite mound or a hollow log. You know, a log of wood, it will be hollow. So inside that will be their home, or some termite mound. You know, termites. They will make that sort of mud houses. So they are called termite mound, or in the log, a hollow log of wood. So they will raise their babies, raise their kittens. When most of the adults are out looking for food, one or two males stay behind to stand guard until others return for the night. So all other mongooses will go in search of food. They'll live in groups. And these little baby mongooses, kittens, will be guarded by not females but males. You know, if any snake comes to take their baby, so there will be male mongooses standing guards, because they all have babies at the same time. So they will be raised together in groups. And so that time this two male mongooses will sit there guards. Alright. Okay. Now the next paragraph, paragraph 8. Another animal which lives in the desert is the camel. So camel is the most famous animal. Everyone knows about camel. Is the animal of the desert. It is called the sheep of the desert. So another animal which lives in the desert is the camel. Camels were first domesticated by people many thousand years ago. Thousands of years ago, this camel was domesticated. So they drink the milk of the camel, they make cloth out of its fur, its hair, and its skin is used as leather, and its flesh is used as meat. So they use the whole camel. So in the wild, camels usually live in small groups of up to 30 animals. So camels also, they live in groups in the deserts. Maybe about 30 animals, they live together. So camels have long, shaggy winter coats to keep warm, and shorter, tidier coats in the summer to keep cool. So they have two kinds of fur, hair on their body. So they are called winter coats in summer, and they have long, shaggy winter coats to keep warm in winter, and shorter, tidier coats in the summer to keep them cool. They have very long legs, so they are quite high above the ground. So the heat of the ground will not affect them much. A thirsty camel can drink as much as 30 gallons of water. So whenever they get water, you know, in deserts there is a place called oasis. In oasis there will be a spring of water. So there will be some date palms and all. So whenever the camels come across, when they come across the oasis, whenever they find water, that time what they will do? They'll drink about 30 gallons of water. And what will happen? That's about 500 full glasses in just 10 minutes. Normally, however, it gets all the moisture it needs from the desert plants and can survive for up to 10 months without drinking any water at all. Wonderful. And they will eat up the plants, even the leaves. They will get some moisture from that, and they can live without water up to 10 months. Wonderful, isn't it? So can live without water for 10 months. So now the last paragraph, that is paragraph 9. Okay. There are two different kinds of camel. One known as the dromedary has only single hump. The other is called the Bactrian camel. It has two humps. So how many kinds of camels are there? There are two kinds of camels. One is dromedary, has only one hump, and there is Bactrian camel. It has two humps. The humps help the camel to survive in the desert by acting as storage containers. So these humps are storage containers. But they don't store water, as many people wrongly believe. So when I was small, I was told, or I used to believe, that they store water in the hump, and whenever they feel thirsty, the water will come back to the mouth. Actually, it is not so. Actually, it is not so. So, as many people wrongly believe it. So, they are full of fat. Okay, these humps are full of fat. This fat nourishes the camel when food is scarce. So, whenever the food is scarce, less, what will happen is these animals will be, they will survive with the help of the fat in the hump. If they have nothing to eat for several days, their humps shrink as the fat is used up. So whenever they don't get food for a long time, you can watch their humps will shrink. That means the fat is used up. There are many other ways in which camels are adapted to desert life. Their mouths are so tough that even the sharp thorn cannot pierce through. So their mouth, if you see, it's so tough. So even a thorn cannot enter it. It will not get hurt at all. It's very tough. And secondly, these camels do not urinate much. They do not sweat. So a lot of water is saved in their body. So the camels have such features that they are adapted to those surroundings. They can stand that scorching heat, they can live without water for a long time, and the fat in their humps will help them to survive for a long time without food. So, wonderful animal, it is called the sheep of the desert. Okay, so it is very interesting lesson. So, I hope you understood, and I again request you to subscribe my channel and give the likes if you like, and we will tomorrow continue the another lesson, that is science. Okay, thank you so much. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye.